For today's video, I'm in Abu Dhabi, at the airport and making my way to the Etihad first class lounge. I love the black and gold coloring as it looks very classy. As I'm taking the elevator up to the top floor, I'm kinda hoping for some great views. Doors opening, and I'm about to say hello to the ladies at the reception. After a second inspection of the boarding card, it is time for a look around. As you may see, even here at the desk it is very quiet. Flights are not announced, so set your alarm and check your departure time and gate on these departure boards. From front to the back, this glass makes for some pretty good tarmac views. You may notice that the lounge is spotless, and this is down to the staff that are constantly cleaning the parts of the lounge where there are no guests. Since I'm moving past these semi-private sitting areas, which are very comfortable by the way, the cleaning crew immediately move away. It looks like I'm the only guest in the lounge at the moment, and this quiet does feel a little strange, but the staff is super friendly and do really make me feel welcome. Now that I'm walking into the restaurant area, the number of tables and seats suggests that the lounge is ready to receive many more guests. Even though the room dividers are see-through, they do give the illusion of a somewhat private seating instead of a packed Wembley Stadium. Here in the second part of the restaurant is where I decided to have some breakfast and later in the day also some lunch. When sitting down, I noticed that the glass on the side of the lounge are only a meter or two high. I have not checked what's on the other side, but fortunately there isn't a lot of noise coming from there. Breakfast starts with a look at the menu. I do realize that this is a first class lounge, but still I'm impressed by the offering. For eggs, you can have them prepared in 5 different ways, and when choosing Eggs Benedict there are 3 options for this. Even though I was the only passenger in this lounge, it did take quite some time for the kitchen to prepare my order. I know that it wasn't because I had silly demands or requests, but as I was in no hurry, I didn't bother to ask why it took so long. In the end I got it, and yes, it's one of the Eggs Benedict options. The eggs were cooked perfectly and it was delicious, and even though it may not look like much, in terms of size it was just perfect. After a couple of hours I returned to the restaurant for lunch, which kicked off with some rosé champagne. I found that lunch here requires a little bit more reading. There is a food menu as well as a wine list. The wine list does not only offer a wide variety of wines, but also other alcoholic beverages like cocktails, whiskey, cognac, rum and gin. For a regular restaurant this may be a limited menu, but let's not forget that this is a lounge at the airport, and then to offer 3 starters, 2 soups, 7 mains is pretty good. Service at lunch is significantly faster and the starter arrived soon. In terms of presentation, this dish is worthy of a first-class lounge, and even though I'm normally not a fan of salmon, taste-wise it was also pretty good. At the recommendation of the staff, I have the other champagne with the main course. Some other first-class lounges may try to impress you by having either very expensive champagnes or very many of them. Etihad has two reasonably priced ones, and both of them were very enjoyable. Main course was beef, which was very juicy and tender. Lunch is more than breakfast, a real restaurant experience. The staff is a group of different people, and this makes quite a difference. They are more attentive and proactive than the morning rotation. Dessert is visually very appealing. This really is the chef's own version of a chocolate cremeux and a very well balanced dish. It's not too sweet, not too sour, but just right. Now that lunch is over, let's move on with the lounge tour. As I walk through the seating area with large television, note the drink station in the back. The lounge doesn't have real beds like, for example, the Turkish Airlines lounge in Istanbul does have, but they do have this somewhat private recliners. The side table can hold your drink and has the possibility of charging your phone. But if you do really want to lie down, some other guests have shown me that these sofas are definitely long enough. And when you're traveling with a companion, you may like one of these. And here, all the way at the far end of the lounge, you will find these chairs with a view of, well, basically nothing. Of course, a lounge like this has showers, and it's now time to check them out. Past the drink station. The entrance is roughly in the middle of the lounge, and here at the desk is where the staff is to guide you to one of the free showers. And here we are, shower number 2. The room is quite large and I love the styling. It goes really well with not just the rest of the lounge, but the tiles on the wall behind the mirror remind me a little bit of the plane's livery, especially the tail fin. And these patterns are even extended into the frosted glass. In the showers there are some bottles of shampoo, conditioner and soap. In a first-class lounge you may expect an abundance of amenities, but the good thing is that there isn't anything unnecessary. And here at the sink is where you will find a hairdryer. A little seat like this is always appreciated to avoid me falling down when putting on my shoes. All cleaned up now, I make my way to another sitting area for a drink. I pass the kitchen that is hidden behind this wall, and at the end I just turn left. This area is very nice and light, and here on the right is a selection of snacks ranging from cold cuts and small sandwiches and yogurt, and later in the day there is also some pastries. The space isn't too big, but the mirrors make it appear quite large. There is a help yourself drink station, but the staff insisted on bringing it to my table. This lounge is absolutely amazing, plenty of seating options ranging from sofas to recliners. What I was missing a little is an area to work, not computers and printers and stuff, but simply a desk with some power outlets. The restaurant is one of the best I've seen, both in terms of food and service, even though breakfast was a little slow. It is not that crowded, and to sum up, it is a wonderful place to kill a few hours between flights. For now, I thank you for watching and hope to see you again soon.